Well, the pressure is on at the state capitol right now. Today marks crossover day where a bill must pass either the House or the Senate chamber in order to survive and have a chance at full final passage. And as the clock winds down, you can bet there's a lot of activity going on. We want to get you now live to our Doug Richards. Doug, what are the big measures that you're tracking here for crossover day?
Well, first of all, it's worth noting that most of the bills that pass the legislature throughout the session are passed routinely with bipartisan support, and that's certainly been the case here. Most of the bills that we've seen in the House and the Senate have been kind of flying through the two chambers. So it's noteworthy when one fails, and we'll look at one of those instances right now in the state Senate, where a state senator introduced a constitutional amendment to require the state constitution to say that you had to be an American citizen in order to vote, raising the question, isn't that in the law already? Let's listen.
This amendment, Mr. President, just does two things. It ensures in the Georgia Constitution that only individuals who are citizens of the United States and residents of Georgia will be allowed to vote in our elections, and that in order to do so, those same individuals must use a photographic ID when they vote in our elections.
Senator, under Georgia law today, can a non-U.S. citizen vote in an election in the state of Georgia?
Under Georgia law today, they cannot. However, we are actually seeing cases where non-citizens are registered to vote. But Senator, this measure is an attempt to enshrine the very things that you just asked me about in the actual Constitution as opposed to just in state law.
So the Senate voted on this bill, and because it was a because it was an amendment to the Constitution, it required a two-thirds vote, which meant it required the support of Republicans and Democrats, and it failed to get the two-thirds vote that it would have needed to go through. However, and the thing to remember is the leadership of both chambers usually know the vote counts in advance. In this case, the sponsor of the bill is running for a higher office this November, and so there may have been another purpose in getting this bill onto the floor of the Senate today. Mission somewhat accomplished, at least in that regard. We are live at the Capitol tonight. Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
All right, Doug, still a busy day and evening ahead for state lawmakers. Thank you so much.